Welcome to the 8th chapter of the book of Genesis. We're continuing in the flood, and it begins in verse 1, Ke anamanisti o Theos to Noah. And God, we'll underline that, 23:16, called to mind Noah. Ke panton ton therion, ke panton ton ketinon, ke panton ton petinon, ke panton ton erpeton. Osa'in medavtu inti kivoto, and all the wild beasts, and all the cattle, and all of the winged creatures, and all of the crawling things, as much as was with him in the ark. So God is now putting his mind, which it says, calling it to mind, to change what was going on from the flood to drying up the land. Ke epigagen o Theos pneuma epitigin. A pneuma, we have pneumatics. The word pneuma is strange here because normally the pneuma is associated with spirit or breath of God, and here it's wind. The normal word for wind is animos, the wind. But for some reason the translators of the Hebrew chose this word. Ke akopase to Ethor, and the water abated. Verse 2, Ke apokaliph thisan epige tis avisu, and were revealed or uncovered. This is the same word as the apocalypse. Uncovered. The springs of the avisu, the abyss. These are derivatives. Ke Cataracte, cataract, a torrent. To Uranu, heaven. Uranus, the planet. These are the derivatives. Ke sines chithi o iatos, and the rain was constrained. Hyato, a rainy region. Apo to Uranu, from the heaven. The rain was constrained, so it's not falling like it was to make a deluge. In verse 3, Ke anadidhu to Ethor, porevomenon apo tis gis, and the water gave way, going from the earth. Ke ilatonunto to Ethor, meta pentikonta ke ekaton emeris, and the water was lessened after 50 and 100 days, and the raining before that may have added on to it. Ke akathasan e kivotos into ebdomo mini, and the ark settled in the 7th mini, a mean. We have menstrual, menopause. Ebdomi ke ikadi to minos, the 7th and 20th of the month. Epi ta ori ta Ararat, which is Mount Ararat, which is attributed to be in Armenia, over and towards Turkey. And whether it's not the same one, I don't know, but it's attributed to be that one. And so you can look up these these months, and it gives when it started and it stopped, and you'll see that they were in the ark for quite a period of time. In verse 5, To deithor, hydro, water, pressure, porevomenon, ilatonunto, eos to decato minos, and the water going forth lessened unto the 10th month, decato. So now it's going into the 10th month. Decato, we have a decade, so we'll underline that one for a derivative. Goes along with our book English derivatives of the Greek New Testament. Unless it has a decimal point after it, it won't be in the book, because the words with decimal points, like up here, cataracte, only appears in the Old Testament, and the book was put together about 20 years ago just for the New Testament. And it continues in 5, T proti to minos, and in the 1st of the month, ophthison e kephale ton oreon, the mountains, or the heads of the mountains appeared, the tops of the mountains. In verse 6, Ke egeneto meta tessera conta imeris, And it came to pass after Tessara 4 days, Eneoxe Noe tin Theritha tis kivo 2. So the ark had a window in it. It doesn't say the door. He opened the window. In epise, which he made. Ke apestile ton koraka to edin e kekopake to Ethor. He sent forth a crow to see if the water abated. In verse 7, Ke exelthon uk anestripsen eos to xiron thine to Ethor apo tis gis. And going forth, it returned not until the drying of the water from the earth. So it's out there flying around, I guess, for that period of time. I'm not exactly sure I understand why it says this, but it didn't return. But the other birds do, as we find out here in the next verse, verse 8. Ke apestole tin peristeran, opiso av tu, Edin e kekopake to Ethor apo tis gis. And he sent the peristeron, the dove, after it, to see if the water abated from the earth, the same thing. In verse 9, Ke uk evrusa ti peristera anapavsen tis posin av tis, anestripse pros av ton is tin kivoton. And the dove, not finding rest for her feet, returned to him in the ark. Maybe the crow died, I don't know, flew so far and couldn't land. But anyway, the second bird returned, but couldn't find a place for its feet. O the Ethor in epi pan to prosopon tis gis, for water was upon all the face of the gis, the geology, the earth, gi. Ke ek tinas tin hira, hand, and stretching out the hand, a chiropractor is a derivative, and stretching out the hand, eleven aftin pros afton. He took her to himself. So he just sticks out his hand and the bird lands on it. Beautiful scene. Ke isiga gen aftin istin kivoton, and he brought her into the ark. In verse 10, Ke episkon eti imeris epta eteris, and waiting still another 7 days, Palin exapestile tin peristeron ek tis kivo 2. Again he sent out the dove from the ark. Ke anestripse prosav ton e peristera, and the dove returned to him. Ke iki philon eleas karphos into stomati avtis, and she had a twig of an olive leaf. Philon, a phylum, is a derivative. Ke egno noe oti kekopake to Ethor apo tis gis, and Noah knew that the water abated from the earth. Verse 12, Ke episkon eti imeris epta eteras, and waiting still another 7 days, Palin exapestile ton peristeron. Again, he sent out the dove. Ke u prosethete to epistrepse prosav ton eti. And she proceeded not to return to him again. So now the bird is flying around. Verse 13, Ke agenito ento eni, ke exakos siosto eti, enti zoe tu Noe. And it came to pass in the 1,600th year in the life of Noah, to protu minos, the first month, minos, mia to minos, day 1 of the month, the first of the month. It wouldn't be, this is 1, not a first, so 1 of the month, day 1. Exelipe to Ethor apotis gis, the water subsided from the earth, the Ethor, hydro. Ke apocalypse Noe tin stegin tis kivo tu in epise, and Noah uncovered the apocalypse, an uncovering of the roof, the stegin tis kivo tu, of the ark which he made. Ke ethan oti exelipe to Ethor apo prosopu tis gis, and he beheld that the water subsided from the face of the earth. So it must have been good news to him to know that he's not going to be in this boat forever, and that the water is going into the earth. In verse 14, and they tomeni devtero ebdomi ke ikadi tu minos exiranthi igi. And in the Devtero, again, the Deuteronomy being the book, we'll underline that. The 7th and 20th of the month, the earth was dried. Verse 15, Ke ipe Kyrios o Theos pros Noe, and the Lord God said to Noah, Legon, saying, verse 18, Exelthe ek tis kivo tu, si ke igini su, come forth from out of the ark, and it's the imperative. You and your wife, Gini, ke ii su, and your sons, ke egine kasu, ton ion su, meta su, and the wives of your sons with you. Verse 17, ke pasa sarx apo petinon eos katinon, and all flesh from winged creatures unto cattle. Ke pan erpeton kinumenon epitis gis, and every reptile moving upon the earth. Exagage meta siavto, lead out with yourself, the imperative. Ke avxanisthe, ke plethenisthe epitis gis, again grow and multiply upon the earth. This is the command. Verse 18, Ke exilthe Noe ke igini avtu, and Noah came forth, and his wife, ke ii avtu, and his sons, ke eginekas ton ion avtu, and the wives of his sons met avtu with him. So now they all are coming forth, the animals and the people, from out of the ark. Verse 19, Ke panta ta theria, ke panta ta katini, ke pan petinon, ke pan erpeton, ke numenon epi tis gis, kata genos avton, exilthosen ek tis kivo tu. And all the wild beasts, and all the cattle, and every winged creature, every reptile moving upon the earth, according to their type, came forth from the ark. So they're all coming down. What a sight. Ke okodomise Noe thesiasterion to Kyrio. So, and Noah built an altar to the Lord. And so here we have sacrifices instituted, and this was before the Mosaic Law. There were no Jews at the time. This was before the children of Israel and before Judah and Abraham. And yet they were still sacrificing, and they were sacrificing to Kyrio, to the Lord, the tetragrammaton in the Hebrew. Ke eleven apo panton ton katinon ton katharon, and he took from of all the clean cattle, ke apo panton ton petinon ton katharon, and all the clean winged creatures, ke aninenken is olokavtosen epi tothesiasterion, and he and offered them for a whole burnt offering upon the altar. It's interesting that they didn't take of the reptiles, which were unclean, and which was all designated at the time of Moses, unless when Moses heard of this, he decided what was clean and wasn't clean from many, many years later when Moses was writing the book of Genesis, what made them clean and unclean in the back in the time of Genesis, because the Mosaic laws haven't been decided yet or determined. So it's an interesting subject. And he offered them ke aniniken is olokav tosin epito thesiasterion, and olokav. We have holocaust as English derivative. In verse 8:21, it continues, ke ofranthi Kyrios osmin, the Lord smelled the scent evodias, a pleasant aroma. So it smelled good to him. Ke ipe Kyrios o theos, and the Lord God said, Dianoithis, in considering, u prosthiso eti katarasaste tigin, dia ta ergaton anthropon. I will not add yet to curse the earth on account of the works of men. Oti egkite idiania tu anthropu epi taponi ra ek neotitos avtu. For the thoughts of man clings upon the poni ra, the evil things from his youth. Neotita, a neophyte, is a derivative. The neophyte, this is a neotitos. And I will not add then to strike all living flesh as I did. U prosthiso un eti pataxe pasen sarka zosen kathos epis sa, as he did. He will strike the earth later in fire, but not in the flood. Passus tas imeris tes gis, sperma ke therismos, psychos ke kavma. All the days of the earth, seed and harvest, chilliness and sweltering heat, theros ke air, imerin ke nikta, u kata pav susi. Sweltering heat, summer and spring, day and night, will not be caused to cease. Then in Hebrews it mentions the earth being shaken, and then in 2 Peter 3:11 it says, these things then, all being loosed, what kind of persons must you be in holy behavior and piety, expecting and hastening the arrival of the day of the Lord, by which the heavens being set on fire shall be loosed, and the elements being destroyed by fire shall melt away, but new heavens and a new earth, according to his declaration, we expect, in which righteousness dwells. So there's a lot to the destruction of the earth and the future happenings in the earth in the book of Revelations. We'll be going to all these places a little bit later when we get to the book of Revelations, and hope you will join us, and we'll be going into the 9th chapter of the book of Genesis next. God bless.